name is Kristen Johnson. I lived in Des Moines for 12 years and I bought my very first house in 2021. So I had a specific area in mind of where I wanted to live because I wanted it to be close to where I worked, and it was a neighborhood that I wanted to have a positive impact on. I did have a set number of bedrooms that I wanted. I wanted a living area that I could be able to host. Initially, didn't really have a lot of specifics on that, but as I was looking, I realized, oh, I really want a dining room. Like, I wanted to have a living room and a dining room, so I had 2 rooms to be able to host in. What was helpful with looking at houses with Zach and Jason was they were really honest about what they saw. They didn't sugarcoat anything. They were very this is not a good foundation. Just things like that that I would not have thought to look for, they looked for. And so that really built my trust, that I could really trust them that they're not going to have me buy a house that is gonna fall apart. Everyone says, oh, you'll have this feeling that you know this is your house. And I'm like, how do you know what the feeling is? How do you know? I don't know. And then I was like, oh, they were right. So that was kind of weird because when I walked into this house, pretty quickly I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy this house unless there's some major issues. I think this is it. The hardest part, I think, was figuring out loan stuff. So the house I bought is over 100 years old, and it's in an NFC qualifying neighborhood. And so my plan was to go through NFC because they give you $10,000. But upon their inspection, my house didn't really require any improvements that they would cover. So then I was going to have to come up with a list of things to do with $10,000. And I'm a teacher, and so the beginning of the school year is really stressful, and I didn't have the brain space to constantly be emailing and uploading documents. And I know other friends who have gone through NFC and it's been really great. It just wasn't the right fit for me in this season. The closing process, the part that was stressful was I was trying to figure out what amount I was supposed to get for the cashier check. So I triple checked with my loan officer to really make sure what the amount on the cashier check needed to be. Went to sign all the things, and then you have the keys, and you're like, oh my goodness, I own a house. This is insane. I don't know what just happened, but I own a house, and that's really great. And then you get immediately overwhelmed. And once you're actually moved in and settled, you'll just be like, oh, wow, this is my house. I own this, and that's so great, and that's kind of a huge accomplishment. That doesn't mean that the project list gets shorter or anything like that, because it actually just continues to get longer. But there's less of a feeling of being overwhelmed and consumed by it, and more of a feeling of being at home. You get to decide the culture of your house. You get to decide if it's a place for you to come and relax and just be at peace here, or it could be a place where you bring other people in and that they feel welcomed and seen and heard and fed, and a place that they can feel at home. And I think that whole concept of making a home has become more real since buying a house, because I get to kind of decide what that looks like and what that feels like and what you want to do with it. So the walls in here were not terrible, but I wanted to make it my own. So I painted rooms green. I created a wallpaper wall type thing. I filled it with plants, and currently redoing my entire yard because it's mine, and I get to choose what it looks like and how it can reflect me as a person and how it can make other people feel when they come here.